Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Let's Go Fishing show. And I'm on my own tonight, and I don't know where my partners are, Mike and Bill. I think Bill's been out shopping today and with Polly. So want to say hello to Dad and to Bill and Polly there in Clinton for sure. And Dad's kind of been a little bit under the weather the last few days, but he's doing good right now. So we're tickled to death and blessed with that. I got something I need to tell you right quick. I got a text this week. Matter of fact, Tuesday, and the Harriman High School boys are in the state tournament. So they asked me if I would be up to starting the show next week instead of 8 o'clock, having it 8:30. And they want to broadcast a live feed from the ball game over here to Channel 12 and to BBB, and then, let you all hear it. And I said, hey, we're all in this thing together, and congratulations to the Harriman boys basketball team for making the state, and I hope they win. And so, we're going to, next week's show will be 30 minutes. It'll start at 8:30 instead of 8 o'clock. That'll give me 30 more minutes to get some fishing film for the fishing show. So I was tickled to death because I don't have much tonight, I'll just tell you. Mike not being here, he's got his camera, and he's got a couple of crappie trips on his camera, and I couldn't get in touch with him to find out where the camera's at, so we're going to be short to film. But we'll have it for next week. And sounds like the bad weather moving in, might be a little tough to get fishing next week. We've got, some things going on, and this bad weather moving in, just the honest truth, I'm taking Wesley and Colt Miles with me tomorrow. We're going fishing tomorrow. I'm on a 4:10 schedule right now, and so I'm off tomorrow. But anyway, we're going to try to beat the bad weather or get in between the semi-bad and the bad and cold weather Saturday night or Saturday and take our trip tomorrow. Speaking of Wesley and Colt, last Saturday, they're 8th graders, will be freshmen next year, and they're in I mentioned it a few weeks ago. They're in the on the high school bass club at Coalfield. They've only got 4 members as of right now, and they fished their first tournament last Saturday, and I was the boat captain. And dares to say we never boated a fish. And I say we, they didn't, but I blame myself more than them because I let them talk me into staying close to the boat ramp and fishing because it was 28 degrees that morning. And I felt like that we had a better chance down the lake, but I kind of felt sorry for them, and I was dressed for the ride. But they were, and then they weren't. So we fished around close, and they had some fish on, and didn't get them in the boat, and we had a good time, and I was glad to see them participating. They fished hard all day, and man, we changed baits. I'm telling you, they were laying all over the bottom of the boat and the floor of the boat, and but we just didn't get on anything. Missed a couple of 3 fish on a rattle trap, had them hooked, and they got off. A couple of fish on an A-rig. Didn't see the fish, but did see the bull when he come loose, and man, it looked like you'd throw the wash tub in the water. But we didn't get to see the fish, and that kind of thing. And then let's see, what else did they have some fish on? But anyway, that was like I said. Oh yeah, had a broke line on the hook set on the jig, and then had another fish on a jig, and he got off. So they had an opportunity. It was a 3 fish limit, and I felt like that definitely a couple of 3 or 4 of those fish they had on was, keepers or better. And but I was glad to get to be with them. And I'm going to tell you, if you're where you could or can be a boat captain for some of those high school kids, you ought to take the jump and get involved with it. We just, they fished hard. They really did. I was real proud of them. They fished hard. Their next tournament is April the 1st, so we're going to go tomorrow, and they're out of school for in-service, I think, or something like that. And so they're out of school tomorrow, and like I said, with the bad weather moving in, we're going to take our chances tomorrow and go down to Watch Bar and try to improve on what's going on, and fish some a little middle of the lake area, and let them see if we can find some fish and kind of hone our skills up a little bit. And you got sometimes when you're fishing, you're throwing past the fish, or you're not fishing out deep enough, or you're not throwing shallow enough. So we got to get some of those things worked out. And so I'm going to take them both again tomorrow, and hopefully we can get some fish and find what's going on that works for them. It's hard to, you got to be, can't be one-dimensional fishing, because, how you fish a topwater plug is different than how you fish a jig naturally, and that kind of thing. And the A rigs are right in there with it. Every bait's got its own thing, and you gotta be able to adapt and that kind of thing. So we're going to practice on technique tomorrow, hopefully, of what's going on. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll do some filming tomorrow, and hopefully they can catch some fish and get them on film and get them fishing. And because Saturday I had the camera in the boat, and no, I didn't. Excuse me. That was I forgot the camera and left it in the truck, and probably a good thing, because I was busy all day moving rods and getting out rods and putting up rods and all this kind of stuff. But it was a good deal for me, and I never made a cast all day, and that was my wife asked me how I made it, and I said, well, I made it just fine. It was tough there for the first couple of hours, but I got through it, and by the midday I was fine. And but those two, I really hate it for those two that they didn't catch fish. But we're going to go back tomorrow and practice, and hopefully things will get better for their next tournament. Couple of other things I wanted to bring to your attention before I show you what little bit of fishing film I've got. They've got, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, the North Lake Task Force has got the Region 4 biologist coming down, and they're going to talk about the stocking program for North Lake. So that's 7 o'clock at the hatchery, and if you're concerned about the fishing up there, it'd be a good, I'd give you some good advice and say you probably ought to be there at that meeting and see what's going on, because it's not only the bass. We're wanting to know about the walleye. We're wanting to know about the crappie, and this kind of thing. And so let's get there and see what we can, get out of those guys about what they plan on stocking next year or the next few years on Norse. But that'll be at 7 o'clock at the fish hatchery up there in Clinton. Then also we got Arrowhead Park. This is one of my coaches when I was in high school. I played 3 sports, and Darwin Davis was the baseball coach. And Arrowhead Park, they're having a dedication at Arrowhead Park Tuesday at 5 o'clock, which that's March the 14th, both days, or both places, is next Tuesday, which is the 14th. But anyway, they're going to have a dedication there at Arrowhead Park for Darwin Davis. So all you former ball players, if you're listening or whatever, you need to try to make that. It's at 5 o'clock, and the ball game starts at 6, and he's going to be throwing out the first pitch. And I really, like I said last week, he's really deserving of that honor, and I'm glad that they're going to recognize him on that. Let's see. I guess we went about as far as we can go on those 3 things, and I'll try to remember to remind you again at the end of the show about the time start delay next week due to the ball game. Okay, Dylan, you ready to go? All right, just show what we got, buddy. Hey folks, I just stepped in the door here at Shared Treasures and Consignments and More, and man, you know, if you're looking for some specialty items, this right here would be a good place to check out. So I'm just going to walk around here, dishes, tables, clothing, I mean, antiques, and that kind of stuff. So just to give you a little idea of what they do have is everything. So you need to come by here, Tri-County Boulevard, and visit with these folks. Just walk through here and look around, and I guarantee you're going to find some things that you hadn't seen or you've been missing for quite a while, and like to replace and that kind of thing. So come by here and visit with these folks at Shared Treasures right here across from Ace Hardware on Tri-County Boulevard going into Oliver Springs there, and I really do believe you'll find some of those old items that you have misplaced or broken or whatever, and just check this out, because they have got a lot of stuff in here, and you know, a lot of old stuff and new stuff all together. So get by here and check them out, and want to thank them for being a sponsor on the show. Hey folks, I'm here at Tim's Tires, and I want, you know, just looking, there's all kinds of tires behind me, but this right here is kind of more for the vehicles. So, you know, as you can see, they've got every size shape that you're looking for, and don't get caught with bad weather. Come on by down here at Tim's Tires and let them make you a deal on a set of tires there. Because they do have them. If they don't have, they will get them for you. And you truckers know that, you know, they've got the truck tires too. So Tim's Tires right here coming into Harriman. Make sure you check them out there if you need that set of tires. Hey folks, we're here at Corner Lot Trading and Rockwood Iron and Metals, all on the same place here. So we're going to take a little peek at what Gary's got in here that you'd be interested in. Okay folks, there's some of the landscaping stone that he's got, and over behind that we've got a pile of masonry sand and some looks like driveway stone in that pile, and see the cross ties over behind that, and there's some of the vehicles he's bought. So we're looking at all that. There's the ties and the vehicles, and that kind of thing. Then over there you see the pile of black mulch. So got that here on site already, and I saw a pile of topsoil over there also. So remember, that's the kind of stuff he's got here, and as soon as he gets his scales in and gets them set up, why, he'll be taking scrap, and he is taking some scrap already. As you can see, that bin right there is full of some small scrap and that kind of thing. And so remember, that's Rockwood Ornamentals and Corner Lot Trading down here on the south end of Rockwood. And appreciate y'all, giving Gary your business, and I'm sure he'd appreciate it. So remember that. Thank you, folks. All right, folks, Rick Whitson, I'm with Rick up here on North, and Rick's got our first fish there. It's not a keeper, but it's a nice little fish. We're going to try to get some more here. And remember the sponsors, and let's go fishing. We hope to be back with you shortly. All right, folks, there's Rick with another smallmouth. He's 17 and a half. Rick, just a little bit short. We'll get you another one. What do you think?
Yeah, buddy.
All right, back in the water. All right, folks, there's Rick with another fish in the boat. And we throwed back two that we didn't film because we forgot about having a camera. But anyway, it's a little short. How much that, and what was that in, Rick?
It's 16 and a half.
16 and a half. All right, we're just a couple of inches short. We got to get some 18 inches, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back shortly with another. All right, folks, Rick's got another smallie there. Dadgummit. 17 and a half, Rick. Man, we got to get into them 18 inches. Pretty fish, though.
Hey.
Dadgummit. All right, man, get you another. All right, folks, that Rick's got a good keeper largemouth there now. Good job, Rick. That's what you're looking for. All right, back in the water and get you another one, bud. All right, folks, Rick's got another smallmouth. Just another tad short again, Rick. Dadgummit. Pretty fish, though.
Yep.
All right, back in the water. All right, folks, we're back, and as you can see, let me tell you about the trip there that Rick and I made. We caught 15 smallmouth between, well, we added up the best we could, 15 fish between 15 and 17 and a half inches. And we did catch two smallmouth that were more like 13 inches. But we never got a keeper, smallmouth. But we did boat 15 fish, and it was raining off and on, and I'd put the camera up, and we'd get a fish on, and that kind of thing, and we'd get them off and throw them back before I got the camera out, and this, that, and the other. So anyway, but we boated 15 smallmouth, like I said, between 15 and 17 and a half or 17 3/4 inches long. We just couldn't break that 18-inch mark. And we missed several fish, and then we caught 4 largemouth, and the smallmouth came on the jig, little higher brown jig, a white jig, and that kind of thing, and then the largemouth, we caught them cranking. So that's kind of what's going on there. Well, we got a call. Let's see who this is. Hello, caller.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Tony, is that you?
That's me.
All right, hold on just a second. Let's get your picture up. Dylan, get the crappie picture up, will you? While we're talking to Tony here, and he can tell us about his trip. All right, just go right ahead. Whenever you get it, I'll be talking to him. Tony, how many crappie was there on that picture?
That was Tuesday morning we got down, and then Terry Smith got fish with. He had five of them. I only caught 2, but anyway, we caught 10 altogether, but we only got fish 2 hours because of the boat problem.
Cause of what?
A boat problem, a motor.
Oh, a boat problem, yeah.
The propeller on the big motor.
Yeah.
That rubber part on the inside of it. We're going down towards the canyon. It spun out.
Yeah. You spun a prop. That's
Yeah.
That's the deal. Yes, sir.
So we canyon. We turned around the canyon, headed back towards Kingston. That took us an hour and a half to get to Kingston, going 3 miles an hour. That's right, fishing day right there.
Yeah, I hear you, man. That's a bad lick. How many crappie did you say you had?
We caught 10. We had 7 keepers there.
10 and had 7 keepers. Okay. There's the picture.
25 foot deep on the main channel out there.
Yeah, there's the picture right there. Yeah, that looks good. Still catching them deep.
Yeah, it's around 25 foot deep.
Yeah. Well, listen. What do you think about the egg situation in those fish?
Right there, there's only one of them had identity. So I didn't keep them. Another guy kept them. One that had eggs on.
Yeah. Okay. One of them had eggs in it. Is that all?
That's the smallest one out of life.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds good. I'm glad you called in and that kind of thing. Mike's here now, and so Mike, what's your take on the crappie?
Well, me and Brad went down Sunday, and the water was kind of dingy out from Blue Springs there. We tried some around 30 foot, and we moved on out and tried them deeper out there, 40, 45, and stuff like that. And it was real slow, the bite was, and we went up towards Thief Neck, fishing on around in there. Still couldn't do much good. Went on the other side of Thief Neck, and the water was even muddier. So we turned around and took off back down the lake and got down below Goat Island, and the water cleared up. And when we hit a spot down there, I caught 5 dandies, and all of them was 41 to 45 foot.
Yeah.
But then I went back yesterday, and the water was muddy down there too. And I went on down and turned back and started fishing some of the hollers back toward Uchi there in Maple Grove and the Fingers and stuff in there. And I got on some crappie there at 30 foot deep in some brush down there. And I got 9 dandies down there.
Okay.
So,
well, all right then. Good. Maybe we'll show the film. You got some film on them, ain't you?
yeah, if he gets it run off.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tony. What do you got on your mind?
I ain't gonna go fishing now till next Thursday. I took that prop down to Reynolds. He put that back next Thursday. So.
You're gonna have to get a new hub put in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
I'll be fishing for about a week now.
Okay, so Mike, if he's gonna catch them, he better get them, right?
He's gonna throw about that little Frank get to him, man.
Hey, that water clearing up's got everything in the world to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. It was a good Tuesday when we went down there. We had that trouble. I thought we could have caught more.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, man. I hope you get your prop back sooner than you think. Get back on the water.
All right, see you.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it, buddy. Okay. All right. Before we get into anything else, I've got to say happy birthday to my granddaughters, Samantha and Shanna.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. They were, well, their birthday was yesterday, and I accused them of being 29, and they got mad at that. So anyway, happy birthday, girls. Love you.
I thought they was 18 myself.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. I figured you did. Yeah. But anyway, their birthday was yesterday, and when they were born, let's see, 93. Yeah. When they were born, that's when we had the big blizzard. March the 8th. Yeah, sure was. So anyway, they're dandies, and so happy birthday, girls. All right, we got a picture of Jason Foster. Jason sent me a picture of a big smallmouth, and we're going to show that. Yeah, buddy, that's a nice one, and dandy fish. And we're going to, hopefully Jason will call in here and give us the details on that of when he caught it And I know he's on Norris Lake, I guarantee it.
Norris Lake.
Yeah.
That's a dandy for Norris Lake.
Yeah, buddy. That's a nice looking fish. I don't know how big it is, but he just texted me the picture and didn't give me any info. I need to know how deep it was, what he caught it on, what he was fishing, how he's fishing it, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, Jason, I appreciate that, man, and good luck and keep catching them, buddy. All righty. Anyway, back to the trip Rick and I made on Norris there Monday. I was telling Mike we caught 15 smallmouth between 15 and 17 3/4 inches. And then a couple of smaller ones, but, you know, we get a 15 1/4 up there, and we think, man, that's got to be 18, but he wouldn't be. And so we caught 4 largemouth after we give up on catching a keeper smallmouth, and the wind got up pretty rough. There about 3 o'clock, or well, actually it started about 1 o'clock really, and run us off the middle of the lake. So we hit the hollers and caught two nice keeper largemouth, and then 2 that wouldn't keep. So we had a pretty good trip, and was glad to get to go with Rick. But anyway, that's kind of what we got going on up there. There is some nice fish being caught on Norris as far as the bass goes. And you guys know you're hearing Mike and Tony about the crappie. So let's see who we got here. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Jason.
It's Jason. How you doing?
Hey, buddy, I'm doing good. Good to hear from you, bud. I lost you there.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, buddy. Tell us about the fish you sent me that picture of, bud.
Well, up there, the water is. I caught it last weekend, and the water was around 49 degrees. And we caught some fish probably 35, 40 foot.
Man, I tell you what, Jason, that's plenty deep.
Yeah, then we moved in there pretty shallow just to check them out there between 2 gravel points.
Yes, sir.
And we caught some big ones about 10, 12 foot of water.
Oh man, that sounds more like it right there, Jason. Sure does. What's the tournament business going on? What's it taking to win up there right now?
Well, I fished Cove Creek this past weekend, the Rocky Top tournament. And it took 14-something was first, and we had 3 smallmouth for around 11 pounds.
Yeah, man. Dang it, boy. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad a catch for 3 fish, man.
No, we had some more on, but we'd had a big bag if we hadn't got off, but that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. How many boats did y'all have in the tournament?
We had close to 20
Had close
first tournament.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Sounds real good. Pretty good turnout, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right, and the water where I've been fishing is real clear, but the closer you go down towards Twin Cove, the more the water's got cover to it.
Yeah, okay. So some of the danger water is I guess they're pulling the water up there a little bit, ain't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They've pulled it out of the head of the creek, I guess, then.
Yeah.
Good deal. Kind of the way it is on Watts Bar. Mike's fighting the muddy water out there. We had that rain there a week or so ago, and it muddied up everything, and now they've got the muddy water down below White's Creek and on down, so he's having trouble getting his crappie.
Right.
Yeah.
But most everything I found out is like they're schooled up, getting ready to move up. They're wanting to do their thing, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'd say you're right, and we're looking at some rough weather here this coming week. That'll hold them off a little bit, but as soon as it warms back up again, look out, they'll be moving in.
I hear that.
Hey, Jason, good to hear from you. Appreciate the pictures and the info. Keep them coming, buddy.
Good to hear from you.
All right, see you, bud.
See you.
All right, bye. All right. Jason Foster, good to hear from him. Good fisherman up there on Norris. He loves that Cove Creek area.
Yep.
And nothing wrong with that. That's perfect. Not a thing in the world wrong with that. All righty. We're moving right along, and I think Dylan's trying to get that crappie film ready, Mike, and we may get it on the show here tonight.
Yep.
Let's see. There was something else. Yeah, the East Tennessee Sportsman Association will be meeting Tuesday night, March the 14th, in Harriman at the Shoney's, I'm assuming. And they haven't told me of a change as of yet. So we'll see how that goes. But that's where they're supposed to be meeting at this coming Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Mike and I made a little deal. He's going to try to attend that meeting, and I'm going to attend the fish hatchery meeting.
Yeah.
And he's going to take his camera down there, and then I'm going to take mine to the hatchery and see if we can get some film on what's going on at both places. Yeah, at least take some notes of what the plan is and that kind of thing. So that's kind of the way we're going to play it. We can't be in two places at once, Mike. So we're just going to split up.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Yeah, we showed some commercials there of some of our sponsors, and there's a few of them I don't have a commercial for, but I'm working on getting them. I'd like to thank all the sponsors, Citizens First Bank, Reynolds Racing and Marine, and here's the thing about all these sponsors. Every one of them's got a website. And they've got, you can, get on their website and find out all the information, a lot more than I could ever tell you about of what they got to offer, especially the bank, Reynolds Racing Marine. Glenn's got a lot of engines, used engines, new engines, trolling motors. I mean, pretty much about everything he carries, you can find out about it on that website. Got the boats and engines and or used engines that's not on the boats he's got for sale and that kind of thing. Same way with the bank in different types of checking and carrying, all that kind of stuff. So every one of these people has got a website, Tim's Tires, and so on and so forth. The candy store, Pamela Ann's. All I'm asking you to do is if you give them your business, please let them know you appreciate them putting the show on.
Yeah.
And you just don't know how much that means. Gary Baisley there at Corner Lot Trading and Rockwood Ornamentals there last week. Talked with Gary before coming to the show, and he was just, said he'd done had 6 or 7 people calling for the mulch, this, that, and the other. From just on the show, I said, well, man, that's great. That's good. The people that went in down there told him they saw the ad. He asked them, where they saw the ad at, and they told him on the Let's Go Fishing show. So you, 6 or 7 people that done that, I appreciate you, really do. But that's just the way we keep the show going. And if I could talk Mike into paying for it, I'd be in business.
Yeah,
I'd say Mike's my sponsor.
Yeah.
But we can't do it, folks, without them. And we've got a great bunch of people sponsoring the show and that kind of thing. So I'd like to thank every one of them. And I talked with Amy today at the sign shop, and she's under the weather. So if it might be a day or two before she gets back in the saddle. She's battling a pneumonia. So I told her the best we'd be praying for her to get better. So if you don't get a phone call or don't get an answer on her phone, just hang tight. She'll get back in the saddle in a day or so, and leave her a message, and I'm sure she'll get back with you, for sure. Because they got, like I say, got a lot of things going on, and there, and her being sick doesn't help the situation.
It sure don't.
No. And that happens to about all of us. And knock on wood, I'm glad I haven't got it yet. I thought I had it, but I've kind of fought it off, Mike.
Yep.
Yeah, that little boat trip there the other day at Dale Holler there kind of opened my sinuses up. Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, if you got a head cold, just jump in one of them boats and then about 30 degrees or 35 and just take off down the lake about 60 mile an hour. When you stop, your head cold's gone.
Yeah, motorcycle, either one.
Yeah, motorcycle.
Anything.
It's amazing what that cold air blowing on that head and do, Mike. It really is. Now, I'm not going to tell you it won't come back when you get warmed up. It usually does. But anyway, want to thank all them. And what about it, Dylan? You were going to show Mike's film?
He's ready.
5 minutes. All right. We can handle that. I'll tell you what, Mike. You started on this deal right here last week, and you never finished it.
Yeah, that's true.
The hook pal from over there at Edgemore Outdoors. I got these baits here, and we're going to rig one of these things up right quick while we're waiting on Dylan to get ready with the film. And the first thing that you got is this little aluminum tool right here that attaches these things. And the big reason for that is you don't stand a chance on getting a hook in your finger.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, these little old plastic discs, they just fit right here in this thing like so. And it stays. It don't want to fall out. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of these things and say you've got a spinner bait, a chatter bait, or whatever, and you want to put a trailer hook on it. Now, you can do it two ways. I've got two different types of trailer hooks. I've got a single trailer hook, and the thing that, what makes the difference between a trailer hook and just a regular hook is it's got a big eye on it because it's got to go over the barb of your bait, like so. Now, the thing that I liked about this, with that big eye on the hook, if you just throw it out there and a few casts, it's going to be off there, Mike.
He sure will.
And maybe on the first cast.
Yeah.
So you got to have something to hold that trailer hook on there. And what you do with this thing is, like I said, I've got it loaded, and you just center it up right there in that disc and pop it on. And right there it is. There's your keeper. Now the trailer hook can't get off. And the fish just, when you set the hook, it just pushes it right on down. And then what I like about this thing, if you'll snug, you see how that trailer's laying? And you can take this thing and I'll get that skirt back out of the way. If you'll just push that little old disc kind of down there snug on top of that trailer, then you see how your trailer hook's laying?
Yes. Right position.
Right position. I mean, it's just, that's the deal. And you can even put two of these discs on. You put the first disc on, then you put your hook on, and then another one on top of it, and it just sandwiches that eye right in position. It stays right there. And so, these things are pretty good little deal. And then we're going to go to another deal here. We call them wacky worms. You can call them whatever you want to. Anyway, these things float pretty much. And when you rig it up straight, or what we call a straight rig, it looks like this. And you can put a little split shot on your line, or you can just fish it with just like Mike and I like to fish it.
Cinco style.
Cinco style. And there it is. and we'll take that bait just like that and throw it around the docks and around structure, brush piles, and this kind of thing, and catch fish. Then the other way to do that, when you're twitching this thing, it's just, like that through the water. But what we do occasionally, and what you can do, is you just hook this thing what we call wacky style, and that's get right in the middle of it and bring a hook through just like that. And then whenever you see it laying on the hook, and whenever you twitch it, why, it just comes back like this, and then it folds back out straight, and it's floating all at the same time. And that fish, they can't stand that crazy reaction.
No.
I mean, if you take, that's why they think a topwater plug's a wounded minnow. I mean, and a crankbait, when it bumps the bottom or something and it acts erratic, a lot of times your strike will come the minute that thing clears the bottom.
You take just a night crawler and just drop him in the water, and he's just twitching and turning.
Yeah.
As he starts sinking down.
That's right. And so, they're looking for an easy meal. And when something goes to acting crazy, and that's why they call it wacky style. Just like that. Now, here's the trick to this thing, this bait keeper right here. What you do is what I was talking about a minute ago. And them baits, when you're rigged up like that, you don't just go down there with one. You better take you a pack of them. Because if the fish doesn't thread it off the hook, then when they're jumping and breaking water with it in their mouth, they usually throw it off the hook, and that kind of thing. So what you do with this right here, this little old bait keeper deal, you bait it up, load the keeper up, and you put this first one on the hook, just like so. Okay, reach right here, grab you another disc. Well, man, them things are hard to pick up, Mike. For me, anyway. Load it up the second time. Rig your worm up here, like so. Just like we said, wacky style. There he lays. Put this other keeper on the hook pile, just like so. Pull your tool off of there, and then you just smash these babies together, like so. And then, Mike, he can't just thread that off the hook. It's got to tear it plumb in two.
Tear it in two.
It's got to tear it plumb in two. You got one on the bottom and one on the top of it, and they don't affect the action one bit, but it just makes that bait stay right there where it's supposed to, right in the bend of that hook, and better chance of hook set. And then, like I said, you're going to use a lot fewer baits.
Yes, sir.
Because they sling them things off when they're breaking water, and or you set the hook and he's got the bait in his mouth and not the hook, and you just thread it right off the hook. So that's a good thing for them, for that, without a doubt.
You can even get them hooks with the little wire weed guard on it there.
Yeah.
And throw it into a brush pile and work it out.
Oh yeah.
Stuff without hanging up.
Yeah, and I've got some of them hooks, and I didn't think to bring one, but I should have. All right, thank you, Dylan. It's got some wire twisted around on the shank of the hook here, and it's got that little double weed guard wire that comes back over here. And like Mike said, you can throw that thing in a brush pile and fish it through. You may hang it occasionally, but it does work pretty good. But that's another trick for the hook pile, right there, without a doubt. There's just several different. Put a trailer hook on your spinner bait, on your chatter bait, any kind of bait that you're just throwing and kind of winding. A skirted bait. type situation. You can attach that trailer hook to it. And I'll tell you what I've done. When you're fishing that frog around the grass, you miss a lot of fish.
You sure do.
Yeah, and you can take this right here, this hook pile system, and you know those frogs have a double hook coming out the back of them. Well, you can put you a trailer hook on each one of them hooks with this system right here.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the big thing is it puts that, you can put that hook up here with two of these things where it sets up just like that, and so you can put you some trailer hooks on them frogs. For some reason or another, you miss a lot of fish on them.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. Everybody says, "Oh, you got to count to 5 when he strikes." You know, they can take it away. I said, "Yeah, I've counted to 20. They still."
Yeah, I hear you, Mike. I've waited till they run off out there and jump water and still can't get them. So, you know, that's true. But that's a good little system. Get that up there at Edgemore Outdoors and check that out. And I'm glad I picked that one up. I looked at it and I said, man, and I walked around there and didn't get it, and I went back the next day and I got it right after work. So I've got some good things for that thing right there here in the next few weeks. And matter of fact, I'm already using on my spinner bait, and I've got tied on my rod now. So try that out. Check it out up there. It's the hook pile system at Edgemore Outdoors, and I think you'll be well pleased.
You can put it on your jig, you know, and run a trailer on your top of you.
Hello.
Yeah, this is TED.
Yes, sir, buddy.
You forgot to mention there's a new possible state record caught down on Milton Hill.
You know, I did forget that, but I knew about it, and according to today on the guy's smartphone this morning, we was investigating that. We're just waiting for him to tell us whether it is or whether it ain't.
Yeah, 43 pounds, 14 ounces.
Yeah, that's
and 51 and 3/8 inches long.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
Yeah. Well, actually, the guy caught that fish.
Stephen Paul.
Yeah. What day this last week did he catch it? Was it Monday, or do you remember?
Well, it was in. It's probably Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. About 10 days ago. But yeah, I did hear about it, but I had forgot about it. And like I said, we checked it. Those guys, I'm working over there, so everybody wanted to know where did he catch it at, you know. And I said, well, I can't tell you exactly, but he was on Milton Hill. I know that, but I just about bet you he wasn't too far from where we're at here. So.
Well, you ain't soaking your feet in the water, are you?
No. You know, so. No, and that's what I told them. I said, man, it's hard to imagine them kind of critters in here, but they are.
Well, they're natural. They're native.
That's right. They're in yeah. You know that, and I know that. They was in here before them dams was ever thought about being here.
Yeah, especially up on the Pigeon Forge area.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of them out in Morgan County, Daddy's Creek, and that area too. You know.
Yeah.
In Emory.
In the Emory River, yeah.
Oh, especially the Emory, yes.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, I thought I'd throw that at you since you hadn't mentioned it.
Well, I appreciate you reminding me. Like I said, it's been the talk at work for the last ever since a week. The last week, and but now here's the thing: what the keeping limit on Milton Hill is what, 50 inches? Is it 48 or 50 inches?
I think it's maybe 50, but
that's what I'm thinking too.
Not sure.
And then everywhere else, it's what, 36?
Well, I don't know.
Hey.
Tell you the truth.
Just give me just a second, and I'll verify what we're talking about, because I got my book.
You'll have to talk to Uncle Jim and Aunt Jean about that.
Buddy.
And you can't count on Uncle Mike for nothing.
No, he's drowned in minnows, buddy. He's drowned in minnows. I'll find out here in a minute. Yeah, chartreuse minnows. That's right. That's right. Well, I'm proud you brought that to my attention. I hadn't mentioned it, but we've been talking about it all week, and them guys I work with, they just can't believe it. I just can't. They just don't believe them fish is that big in that lake over there. I said, yeah, they are.
Yeah, you let them hook one of them or one of them northern pikes, they'll believe it.
Yeah, I heard that, buddy.
Especially the times it goes aerial.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I had that page marked on here somewhere, and I'm thinking it's 48 inches is a keeper on Milton Hill, and I think everywhere else it's 36. But, I'm glad. Well, there's been several big ones caught over there, and that's great. I'm glad to see them. Glad to see them doing good.
Yeah, I know it's terrible, Uncle Mike. Like that.
Yeah, I know. He'll. Well,
he's got to learn his way up from them minnows he catches.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Now he's caught some big fish, but they all had whiskers.
Whiskers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can understand that.
Yes, sir.
They sort of look like him, I guess.
Yeah. They had whiskers, and I had. He catches them big whiskered fish, but they ain't caught nothing like that muskie.
Well, why does he always throw them back? Doesn't he know how to flay them?
Well, I don't know. I don't think he wants to fool with them much. Just tell you the truth. Oh Lordy, yeah, he just.
Well, you can take him out and teach him to fish, but I guess that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, man, I appreciate you reminding us, and congratulations to that gentleman that caught that, and I hope it does break a state record.
Well, one way or another, if he's got any sinkers with him.
Yeah, I hear that. Surely you don't think he'd do that.
I believe anything.
All right, bud. Appreciate you.
Toodaloo.
See you, man. Thank you, buddy. All righty.
I caught one of them dudes down there, right up from Lad Landing there, up to Emory, out there, and I don't want no more of them.
No, I've had 2 or 3 on down there in the Emory, and like I said, the first one, I caught one about 25, 30 inches on a crankbait one time, and he jumped and run. All I wanted was my bait back. Then a couple of years ago, Rick Whitson and I were down there, and I threw the jerk bait up on a point there and twitched it about twice, and oh man, I said, get the net, Rick, I've got Joe on here. Well, it didn't take but about 2 cranks of that reel handle, and it was Joe all right. He was out there trying to tail walk. I said, oh Lord. And I said, and I fooled with it, and just luckily, that son of a gun coming under the boat and run out there straight away from me, and that hook come out of his mouth, and I was tickled to death.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want to fool with him, and for sure. So while we're showing that film, I'm going to find that page. I had that thing turned down here, but anyway, I'll get the sign. We got about 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Mike, you're not going to get to show your crappie film?
Not much.
Okay, save it for next week, he said. So I guess that's what we'll do. Folks, do check out the Hook Pal system over there at Edgemoor Outdoors. I tell you what, I think you'll be well pleased with. Mike and I are going to try it on this summer at Norris on our trailers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Try to keep that plastic from getting thrown off, and when them fish are jumping and thrashing and carrying on like they do, you get 2 or 3 fish out of a trailer, and then it's gone. And
sometimes just one.
Sometimes just one. That's right. Put a trailer on, throw it out there, and get the fish, another fish on, and bring it back in, and the trailer's gone. I said, "That I just put that on there." But anyway, we're hoping that hook pal system will take care of all that kind of stuff here in another month or so. We get to night fishing and that kind of thing.
Well, it's for sure warm weather's coming on, and everybody that's going to get their boat out needs to go ahead and be getting it checked out. Check the oil in their foots and everything, their batteries and one thing and another. Don't go down there blind and not get to go fishing because you didn't check things out. Make sure it wouldn't hurt if you could get it running a little bit there to make sure the carburetors ain't stopped up on it or something, and all that. A lot of people lose the engine on account of the carburetor leans out and stuff on it because it clogs up and smokes the pistons on it and messes your whole motor up, and then you got to get another motor.
Yeah.
So,
That'd be get Reynolds Racing and Marine, give them a call. They winterize them in the fall, and they check them out in the spring and get you ready to go to the lake without trouble.
That's right.
That's what you want to do.
Especially if you load up and take off somewhere and drive 100 mile or 500 mile or something, put it in the water, and then it broke down, and
Yeah, that's a bad trip.
Bad trip.
And another thing, too, you got to think about your trailer. Your trailer hubs. Make sure they're greased up. And, the thing about down there at Reynolds Racing Marine, if you give them a list of what you want them to check for your pre-spring, getting ready check out, they'll take care of it for you. Yeah, they sure will. If you got a pontoon boat and you've got to have it on a trailer and you think you got water in the pontoons, they'll go in there and check that out for you. It's got drain plugs and that kind of thing. Just give them a shout. They'd be more glad to get your boat up and get it ready to go for you.
Yeah, sure need to.
Without a doubt on that. Like I said earlier, don't forget next week we're going to have an 8:30 start, and I want to say congratulations again to the Harriman boys basketball team. They'll be in the state tournament next week.
Yeah, the time changes too this weekend.
Time changes this weekend, Mike. You're exactly right. So that means, we might get an hour's extra fishing in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much time we got, Dylan? 2 minutes? All right. We're going to say goodbye so we can show them commercials. Like I said, next week, at 8:30 start. God bless you all. Hopefully we'll have some more film next week. And I did hear this. Guys, they're catching some big crappie on Fort Loudon right now. And they're not that deep of water. Matter of fact, they're catching them around docks. So don't forget that. We'll catch this call and get off the air and see what's going on. Hello. Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, what's up?
What's the temperature on Norris right now?
About 49 degrees. Did find some 52-degree water back in a pocket. It just had a little shade of color to it.
Well, I just got on the computer today, and I said, I wonder what that temperature is. I typed in TVA Norris Lake and water temperature, and it came up and said 68 degrees. And I said, I can't hardly believe that. But that's what it said.
I'd like to know where he's found that water at.
Well, I don't know either, but I'll swear to you that's what it said. And
Man, I don't see it. Do you?
Well, last time I was up there, it was 49.50, so that's been 2 weeks. I've been down sick for 2 weeks. And, I thought, my goodness, but I'm glad to see that it's on the computer.
Yeah.
It's just wrong.
Well, we was in Lost Creek to Mill Creek, and like I said, about 52 degrees was the warmest, 51.8 or 0.9, something like that. 52-degree water was the warmest we found.
Well, that's what it is probably on all the lakes.
Yeah, it's
about the same.
It's about the same.
And 54 to 56 down there yesterday at Watchbar.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know, that warm rainwater we had a few weeks ago, you know, it came quick, muddied up the water, and it was warm. It warmed up the water, but now they...
Well, if it's muddy, yeah. Probably a little warmer. But I'd say Saturday night and Sunday will knock it in the head.
I'd say you're exactly right, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, you know it. But I hate you being sick, and I hope you got better and get back on the water.
All right, sir. Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, good to hear from you. All right. Okay, Dylan, are we gone? Oh, still on the air. That's great. Like I said, folks, God bless you. See you next week.
You may not know the name, but you definitely know the taste. Our homemade fudge is shipped all over the country. Its quality is unmatched, and it's made right here in Oliver Springs. But you don't have to travel all over to enjoy it. You can get it right here at our retail store, Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts. The highest quality fudge in a countless variety of flavors. And we also carry a variety of candy and unique gifts for you to enjoy. Come enjoy the taste you have loved for years at Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts in Oliver Springs, a division of Country Fresh Foods.